Dr. Gregory Costello, and today I'm going to talk to you about donning and doffing. Donning meaning putting on your personal protective gear, and doffing meaning taking it off. Remember, it's just as important that you take off your gear in a very precise manner as the way you put it on, because the gear that you're wearing is protecting you against the virus, and that virus can be in the material that you're wearing. If you're taking it off improperly, you're just spreading that virus onto your hands, onto your body, which is what we're trying to prevent. So, the first thing when we're starting to put our gear on is you always use Purell to start. So get Purell, put it on your hands. The next step will be to put your gown on. Putting your gown on, the opening is in the back. You bring it forward, and I like to leave the front on my hands. Your gown is to be tied in the back or on the side and closed up top. Our next step, you're going to grab your mask. Now, if you have this type of mask, the loops just go over your ears. The bottom of the mask goes under your chin, the top over your nose, just like this. You can push against the metal strip that's in there to shape it to your face, but don't pinch the nose. That creates a space where air can get in. Just smooth it against your face just like that. Now, if you have an N95 mask, your N95 mask has two straps on it. One strap, the bottom strap, should end up where your neck is. The other above your ears. So when you're putting an N95 mask on, you hold it in your hand like this, like a cup. You take the bottom strap first, put the mask on your face, and put the strap to your neck. The second strap will go up just like this, above your ears. Your final step will be putting your gloves on. When you put your gloves on, please make sure that your gown is tucked inside of your glove. So, note how the gown is inside the cuffs of the glove. This is keeping you protected before you go to see patients. Now, when you go to undress, after you've seen your patients, when you go to take your protective gear off, the first thing you're going to do is put Purell on your gloves. Okay, make sure you get between the fingers, make sure you get all the way to the cuffs. It's very important that you note how you take your gloves off. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to pinch your glove and you're going to turn it inside out. So the outside of the glove has not touched your skin. With your other hand, you're going to put your finger just below the cuff and do the same thing. And just drop them into the garbage can in front of you. The next step you're going to do is you're going to take your mask off or your gown, either one. I like to put Purell on my hands as soon as I get my gloves off. After we've put the Purell on our hands, it's time to take our gown off. It is very important that you do this in a very precise manner. The first thing you do is reach around behind you and break open the ties on the top and the bottom of your gown. Do not touch the outside of your gown. If there's any contaminants, that's where they'll be. You reach around behind you and put your hands inside the gown like this, bunching up the gown from the inside, turning it inside out and leaning away from you so that you're only touching the inside of the gown and dropping it in the garbage. The outside of the gown will never touch you in that way. And finally, you're going to take off your mask. When you take off your mask again, you never want to touch anything in front of your face. Contaminants that may have been airborne will attach to the front of your mask. You lean forward to the garbage can next to you, take your hands, put them behind you, reach over, take one strap off, take the other strap off, and let the mask fall into the garbage. After that, apply Purell again to your hands or wash your hands and exit the room. I would advise everybody, once they've left the room, to also then use Purell again, because the doorknob that you're leaving with could have contaminants on it. It should not, because people should have donned and doffed correctly, but if you're leaving a room, to be absolutely sure that you've left a contaminated room and have no virus on your hands, even after you leave the room one more time, use Purell or wash your hands. Doing those simple steps will keep this virus from getting you infected, your family infected, or our residents. There are large papers with each step right outside of each room where you'll go in with your gowns to remind you of each particular step. Just step by step in the orders, just like this, where it tells you to put on your gown, your mask, and your gloves in this order. And then there's another paper that will also show you the exact order to take off your gloves, your gown, and then your mask. These are on each of the tables where all of the protective gear is. They're at all the nurses' stations, and there are large ones outside of the isolation rooms. Please look at them every time you're preparing to enter a room and every time you're leaving them. Thank you. Have a good evening.